what I didn't show you guys is kind of how bad it's running. Essentially, it's wanting to die. And check engine light.
That fell on its face hard.
Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and in a recent upload, we started my FoxBody behind me here, my convertible. I just had swapped this engine out, the 306, and just put that in, and we did start it did fire, but what I didn't show you guys is we were having some running issues with the timing, and that's what we're gonna troubleshoot today. So I'm here at Fox Mustang Restoration with Matt, and he's helping me out kind of figure out what's going on. But let me start out first by showing you guys kind of how bad it's running. Right now, to get it to run, we need to set the timing up to like 30-some degrees. That's not really what you want. Base timing's 10 degrees, and you might go as high potentially as 14 if you're running high octane, but it's not ideal. The way I like to do them is have 10 degrees base timing and then have the timing in the tune itself. Gonna get a dyno tune on this. But what we're gonna show you guys first is the problem we're dealing with and then how to troubleshoot it. So gonna go ahead, get timing at 10 degrees and show you how bad it's running. So let's start with that. Matt's got a cool tool. He's gonna come in here, he's gonna start it up. I want you guys to hear how bad it runs. Basically, this is the whole reason we're doing this. So this is giving you an idea of the symptom. Right now we got the timing at 10 degrees. We already set that, and Matt's gonna start it up. He's got a cool tool here he can start it with. So we're gonna see how it runs at 10 degrees timing. We're at 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna bump it up to 12.
Not much difference.
There's about 13 right there.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you guys hear it back by the exhaust. You see how bad. It's basically about to die. Essentially, it's wanting to die, right, Matt? It's wanting to die out.
Yeah. So
I don't even know how I can get it to the dyno. He's increasing the timing.
That's roughly about 35 degrees.
All right. As you can see, it was not running very well at all. Wanted to die. Matt had to turn it up to like almost 35 degrees to get it to even run. And what we're thinking at this point could be the cam. Now, as far as I know, it's a trick flow stage 1 cam. However, if you remember on the channel, we did not actually change the cam out. We only tore it down and didn't get into the bottom end, didn't remove the cam or the pistons or the heads. Basically, it was a long block, guys. So we didn't actually see for sure what the cam was. But yeah, if it was a trick flow stage 1 cam, I don't think we'd be having these same running problems because it's a mass air system. Should be able to run somewhere 10, 11, 12 degrees, and you see it just wants to die at that RPM. So maybe it's a different cam. Don't know. We're going to troubleshoot a few things today. First thing is we are getting a check engine light. So we're going to check those codes and we're kind of going to go from there. And in fact, we did already check some codes and replace the TPS, but we're still getting some more codes. So we'll check those out. I'm also going to show you guys how to check codes, check engine codes. I'm not going to show you, Matt's going to show you. I've never done it before, but it's kind of neat how you can do these because it's not an OBD2 system. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into that. Change the TPS. Light went off, worked for a little bit, now the light came back on. So yeah. Matt's gonna walk us through how to basically, I had never even seen how to hook up a check engine light. It's not like modern cars where you just plug in, like, I think it's OBD2 or something, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
after 95, every vehicle sold in the US had to have OBD2, which is a universal plug, even though each manufacturer's program is different.
Yeah, and you just read a code and it'll tell you, but
yeah,
not the case with this thing.
Right, yeah. There are little machines that you can hook up, like the old Snap-on scanners, and even the scanners used now, you know, hook it up and it'll still read out the codes and stuff like that. You won't get all the data that you do like on the OBD2, but with these, there's a quick way that you can check the engine light with a paper clip.
Paper clip?
Yep.
Okay.
On the back of the driver's shock tower, unless it's already been removed, you're going to have a little black case right there that's kind of attached to the back side. That's got these connectors stuck in it, you can see.
Okay, so already disconnected that, so that was right behind here?
Yep, yeah, that little retainer right there snaps into a hole in the shock tower. And, you know, a lot of times these are already missing, so these are just gonna be floating around there by the wiper motor. The check engine light, you just basically need to connect 2 ports, and then we'll go inside and we'll turn the key on, and at that point, the engine light will start flashing, and then you count those flashes, and that gives you your code. So to start with, I'll take a paper clip, I'll put one end into the single wire connector, so that's nice and easy right there. Now the other one, you want to make sure you get it into the right port. With it in this orientation, it's going to be the second one or the one on the right on the top row. I'll just do that right there.
Now I'm imagining Ford had a tool other than a paper clip for this, right?
Yeah, but Ford's tool, it's funny enough, Ford's tool, at least back in the day when you'd hook it up, it was basically like a handheld unit that you would get the same flash. You would count the flashes. Here, we're just going to do it on the check engine light.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they've, over the years got something better and better. But
yeah, that's pretty cool. You can use a paper clip.
Exactly. And do that with the key off in the off position.
Okay.
And this way, whenever we go turn the key on, it'll go through a self-test. You'll hear some relays click, some stuff run, the fuel pump will kick on for a second, and then it'll start flashing our codes.
Okay. All right, so let's go in the car and we'll count how many times it flashes and see what code we got. We're in the car, so Matt's gonna walk us through the procedure.
So you're just gonna turn the key to the on position. You're not gonna try to start it, but you're gonna just turn it to, where like you'd have the radio and all the accessories on. So go ahead and do that. It'll do a quick flash. Okay, there's the quick flash.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna start kicking out codes. 2, 3. That's 3, this is the first digit. 1, so that's a code 31. You'll get a pause. 1, 2. So it'll go through them one more time, and then if I remember correctly, then it'll go to the memory codes, and those would be the codes that it's stored while the engine was running. 31, that's a pretty hard code. It's continuous in memory.
31 again.
Yeah.
So that's the only one.
And now it's probably done.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go look up these codes.
All right, guys, so before when we ran this, we actually got a code 63, which indicated the TPS. We replaced the TPS. That happened off camera. We didn't see the TPS code show up this time, so we're gonna go investigate the 31. The 67 and 85 also showed up previously to us. Neither one of those really related. Yeah, I know the other two codes, the 67 and 85, that's not only the purge canister, but it's also the neutral safety switch. Basically, neither one of those really apply to our situation right now, so we're gonna go look up code 31 and see what that means.
The code we're worried about was the 31. It turned out to be EGR valve position sensor. We don't have an EGR valve in this, and we didn't plug the eliminator in, and the reason we didn't plug the eliminator in, when we first pulled the codes and we got the TPS code, I still had the tune chip in the computer from the previous tune. So that had obviously turned off that portion of that computer program, not showing any EGR codes or anything like that. And then the second time we pulled codes, I had went in between that time, pulled the chip just to run it off the straight computer, since this is no longer a 331 but a 306.
Right.
And then that started coming in, so that's why we didn't see it previously and why we saw it now, but it's still nothing for us to worry about.
Yeah, so basically when we had this 331 in, Matt and I went over to the dyno that day, and one of the things they did was turn the code off, just like he said. So next step is, we're kind of troubleshooting here, Matt. You're thinking try to change the computer out, right? Just
to be sure, because you had mentioned that the last time we drove it in with the 331, you started having a real bad engine running problem.
Yeah.
Or, real bad idling issue.
Idling, yep.
I got a stack of fresh computers, so since I have one, I'm just gonna throw one in just to see if it changes anything.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do next, guys. Change the computer, see how it runs. Hey Matt, if you need help changing that computer, I know this guy did a cool video on how to change it out. So,
oh yeah?
Yeah. He really knew what he was doing. The guy doing the video, I don't know about the guy doing the work, but.
Oh yeah. Sounds about right.
So in case you haven't seen that one, guys, it's kind of a fun one. I'll throw one of those cards. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't thrown a card, so check that one out. Okay, Matt already swapped the computer out, so let's see if it runs any differently.
Oh. Sounds different.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Same thing, that's 10 degrees.
Yeah. So, back to 10 degrees, guys. It wants to shut off. Yeah, it wants to shut off again around 10 degrees. The next thing we suspect that we're gonna try is actually to replace the distributor. I had the 331 distributor I was using before. We're gonna pop that in. It should be fine. It's a Ford remanufactured, but sometimes, Matt, you're telling me sometimes when they get rebuilt, they don't rebuild them correctly. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, anything, done in mass like that, they're doing it as fast as they can for the dollar, so it just happens sometimes.
Yeah, and we got a timing issue. The distributor is very much involved in timing.
Yep.
And we have another one over there we know did work, so it's easy swap.
True.
Right? All right, so we're gonna change the distributor, see if that helps. So this came from my 331. This is the one we just pulled off, and we'll see. It's not running like it has a trick flow stage 1. I don't know. Stay tuned here, guys. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Let's have some good news. We did pop my old distributor in from a 331, except the module's been changed. I had a new Ford module, TFI module, that we bought to put in the distributor. Just a Ford one, so we figured it'd be good. And we had kind of the same issues. Matt went ahead and swapped a module. He had a TFI module, still trying to locate mine. It's somewhere around here, but This TFI module and my old distributor, she's running a lot better. We got 10 degrees timing now.
Yep.
Matt, you got what, the fuel pressure at 40, I think?
Fuel pressure's at 40, yeah. And we got the timing in, and I know the distributor is one of the things that we had originally thought about because it's one of the things that's involved, one of the few things that's involved with mechanical timing.
Right. It ran pretty good. You guys are gonna find out here in a second. It's getting dark out there, and we want to get it on the road while it's still light. So we're gonna go for a drive first, and then I'll let you kind of hear the car a little bit later in the video. We just got to get on the road right now. All right, guys, about to go on that first drive, and there goes Jen and Peaches. I want to ride with the top down. Got my wheels torqued. Went ahead, you guys can't see it, but I have my shifter installed. Have my shift boot installed, rather. My shifter handle. And we're about to go for a ride. All right. All right, we got out of the gauntlet.
You ready to try it?
Yeah, let's see how she do. So far, I can tell you the clutch doesn't feel any different. It feels okay.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, it's like whenever you're getting on it, that's where you're going to see the difference.
That's pretty smooth, man.
Yeah, man.
I gotta beat that, but.
Bye. 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 Check your brakes. All right, there you go. We did brake work, so we'll check that.
Gotta try it. Should I go full throttle?
Yeah, check and see what happens.
Big hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, come in, kind of.
Yeah, so
But
that's
the
going to
engine
be
sounds
in the
okay,
tune.
though.
But
Okay.
don't forget, 306 with the same mass
Yeah.
and 24-pound injectors. So we definitely have to do some tuning. And the chances are we're going to need to do some adjustments on the timing. The timing may not stay at 10 because of that cam. But we're going to see what works best. Your temperature seems to be staying really good.
Yeah, every time it gets above, it goes down.
That's good. That's what you want.
Yeah, just low throttle response, pretty low.
Yeah, just weak throttle response.
Yeah. But oil pressure's good. The temperature, every time it gets up like that, it ends up shooting down.
Get into the gas a little bit more with that.
Oh, it's definitely not there as far as the throttle.
Yeah.
It's trying to die.
So we just got to have it tuned. But
Okay.
right now, we got her running steady.
Yep.
We got her idling correctly.
It's just not giving it enough fuel. You're right.
Yeah.
Or something in the tune. Not enough spark or
it
fuel.
feels like it feels like a starter for fuel.
Yeah.
The timing curves may still be screwed up because don't forget we have the chip in the computer, so the timing curve is the curve that was programmed into it previously with the 331 and the 30-pound injectors and all that stuff.
Alright, you want to drive it real quick?
Yeah, I'll drive.
Alright.
It definitely seems like she needs to get some more oomph.
Yeah.
You know what? Turn her off. Let's take the chip out.
Okay.
I gotta move the seat way up.
It's without chip, right?
Yes. There it is. Way over here. Wasn't good. Wow.
Popping, right?
That fell on its face hard.
Okay. So the chip in is better.
Yeah.
do I
Let's
get the
throw
chip?
this back in. Okay. Yeah, kind of like after 4,500, it just falls on its
Yeah.
face. It like loses everything after 4,500.
There you go, you got the first drive. So we are back. The exterior shots were thanks to Jen, so those are pretty awesome. Threw those in there. Good job on that, Jen. But yeah, it sounds good, right? And actually, I don't think I'll let you guys hear it up close. You kind of heard us when we were driving off, but I am gonna crank it up real quick so you can hear it idle. You remember what it was doing at the beginning of the video. It was almost dying out. Well, now we're at 10 degrees and 40 pounds of fuel pressure. It's actually running pretty good. So I'm gonna start it up and let you listen to the idle now. So let's listen to her. All right, but there you go. All of our problems where we couldn't get the timing set right was all due essentially to the TFI module, although we did change the TPS sensor and that also was an issue. But definitely the idle and the timing issue, not the idle, I'm sorry, the timing issue was absolutely the Ford TFI module, which that's kind of surprising, but it happens. So had us chasing our tails a little bit, but we got it running. And next step is the dyno. We were ready for dyno tune. One thing I didn't mention, when we're going down the road, you might have heard Matt and I talking about it. When you're under full throttle acceleration, it would get up to maybe 4,000 RPM and just kind of lose power a little bit. And that's probably just in the tune. You know, it's probably not enough fuel or not enough spark or who knows what's going on there, but that's why we're gonna get it tuned. That's pretty much it on this one. Got the first drive and I'm feeling much better about it. The night we started it up, guys, we had that timing issue and it just didn't sound right to me. I know you guys said it sounded very good in the video, and that's mainly because of the editing I did around the video. So I made it sound good, but you fully heard it today. No edits, well, at least not with it running, no edits. And yeah, it sounds good. It sounds mean. I think it sounds a little better than it did before with this cam and just in a 306. So once I get it dyno tuned, I'm gonna be really happy with it. That's pretty much it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. That always helps me out a lot. If you're stopping in for the first time, not only do I have this Fox body on the channel, but I have another one right behind me there. That one's mine too, that rust bucket. Well, it's not a rust bucket anymore, it just has to be repaired. And we're gonna do stuff on that car. Also, I have the truck. I've had a few people ask about the truck lately. We are gonna do something on the truck as well coming up soon. But yeah, that's it for this one. Please subscribe and we'll see you next time here on Gearhead 704. About the truck lately, we Wario. I'm Wario. No. No beers yet for me, but Jen's a Mario Kart Pro over there. And it might not run at all.
Want to start at 10. Did you turn the key back on when you turned it off?
Maybe I didn't. Yeah. So I left the key in the off position, guys.
Back on this time.
Yeah, I will. All right.
There's a
This is gonna, yeah, I was gonna say, this is going in bloopers for sure. All right. Okay.